What's up, guys? It's Mac Chat Tuesday. I'm a little late. Sorry, I had to do some stuff before I could get on here, but there's not a ton. Again, unfortunately, Jeff Hoffman was a Brave until he wasn't with a bulky shoulder, which was the reason he didn't sign. We had him at 5 years, 45 to 48 million, which would have been an absolute steal, given the versatility and given given what he was. We were going to give him the ability to start and relieve, but shoulders are not anything to mess with. And the Orioles were scared by the medicals as well. And then Jeff Hoffman signed a 3-year, $33 million deal with the Toronto Blue Jays. So we even were willing to rework the deal. It just didn't work out. And I wish Jeff Hoffman the best, but man, he would have been a really good fit. But that does tell you that Alex Anthopoulos is trying to make the team better. There's just a lot of factors going into being a Brave and the prices this offseason and things of that nature, medicals, all that stuff. It all matters, and I appreciate Alex Anthopoulos and company sticking to their guns. If they were really scared by the medical, not to just make a move because we are nothing new has happened with AJ Minter other than what I said last week. He's been mentioned with Boston, but it's been pretty crickets on that front. Hold on, let me share this real quick. But yeah, AJ Minter is still on the market. No movement there. Tomorrow is a big day with the international free agent market. The expectation is that Sasaki, the prized Japanese pitcher, will sign with the Dodgers. The three finalists seem to be San Diego, the Blue Jays, and the Dodgers, but we pretty much probably know how that ends. It's literally the worst kept secret in baseball. Maybe with the international market and the possibility of trades tomorrow, when that opens up, maybe moves will start happening and things will start happening. But the Jeff Hoffman deal falling through is really unfortunate. But again, it shows that Alex Anthopoulos is trying to make the team better. And I think we all knew that. It's just been slow and un-Alex Anthopoulos-like, but you can't just make a move to make a move, and sticking to his guns is I can respect it for sure. Hold on one second. So, but that's pretty much the big news for us so far. And again, it's a so it's been one of the slower off seasons I can think of. I don't know what day you're referring to, Charles, but it's been a slower off season, but the spring training having more telecasts, and that will be good. 26 of 30 will be televised or streamed, so you can watch it. And obviously I'll have it recapped and everything for you as well. But having a lot more access than normal is nice. To not just be following it on a Gamecast or whatever the case may be. So yeah, I'm really excited about that. And Ronald Acuna Jr. is progressing well. Awesome batting practice video yesterday showing he's working real hard. Marcell Ozuna, the same thing, for sure. So all of that stuff is great. Marcell Ozuna is staying at DH. Austin Riley is staying at third base. Not that was groundbreaking news, but he did say that on an interview a few days ago. So I think the international signing period opening up will help. Yes, Joseph. The international signing period, I think, is going to be really good for depth trade chips and possibly some really good and intriguing prospects / trades. I'm really excited about that. And hopefully we'll have some news to talk about that is significant. It's annoying that our biggest set of news is that we had somebody sign, but the medicals didn't work out. That's annoying, but I mean, that's kind of how 2024 went. So it's kind of a weird track record thing. But I have full faith in Alex Anthopoulos. There's still a lot of good free agents out there, and I think Profar would be an awesome fit. I don't know clubhouse wise, but I think baseball wise, and I mean, we have a lot of different cats in the clubhouse as well. The leadership's a little different now with departures of Travis and Charlie and Max, but I think we're still solid, and I think Profar kind of fills a lot of needs with Ronald Acuna Jr. not being back until May. With you can slow play Jared Kelenic if you want. No, you didn't offend anybody by it. It's just, it is a big day, but I think I try to stay away from politics as much as possible. But yeah, I think Profar would be a perfect fit. I think, again, the price and the want to and things of that nature. But Profar did sign late last year for 1 year. And I think, no, it might not have been last year, but a couple of years ago, 1 year contract. So maybe he's willing to kind of discount it a little bit. I think it would be a really good fit. But again, clubhouse wise, I'm not sure. A lot of people have thrown around yeah, the Hornets are the Hornets. It's one of three things happens. Everybody's hurt, or we get blown out in the first half, but claw back, or blow a 10 to 12 point lead. It's not really it's not really anything new, unfortunately. But I think the cornerstones are there. I think Nick Richards is probably going to get traded, but I'll get back to the Braves. I think I mean, you need probably 1 to 2 starters. I don't know where you're going to necessarily get that because there's a lot of trust in Panthers and Charlotte Hornets and Carolina Hurricanes. Do we trust Ian Anderson as much, even though he's not coming back till June, I think? I think AJ Smith-Shawver is probably the one that takes the biggest leap forward. What I'm hoping. What I'm hoping is that AJ Smith-Shawver takes the biggest step forward. I don't know about Bryce Elder. I want him to be good, but I don't know if we can get much better than the first half last season, and I don't know if there's a consistency there with Bryce Elder because his stuff isn't as fiery. I will say I have no problem with Bryce Elder, but I don't know if there's a big ceiling for him in that way. Hurston Waldrop, maybe he can take a bigger step forward. There's a lot of questions, and obviously, like 340. Yeah. I don't enjoy the Falcons, but it's a rivalry. So I don't know. It's a lot of questions in the pitching avenues for sure, but the Jeff Hoffman news, at least again, kind of beating a dead horse here, but it's just at least showing that Alex Anthopoulos is doing his due diligence and yeah, I think the Panthers are on the rise, and I think the Falcons are in a better spot too. So I don't think it's that. I think it's a lot better than it was for sure. 300, but losing about 340 innings from the rotation. That's a bugaboo, but again, there's 4 weeks until pitchers and catchers report. I believe that's February 12th. And like I said, a lot more access to spring training and the prospects and the guys that we weren't even thinking about. Yeah, Georgia, but they were bad in the playoffs, so that doesn't. Championships are bust for Georgia, but there's a lot more access to spring training and the guys that kind of come out of nowhere. So that's nice. But I really think tomorrow is going to be a really exciting day and an interesting day to follow for the Braves internationally and all of baseball internationally. Just maybe that'll shake some trees and get some deals done. And but there's still a ton of really promising good free agents, and yeah, well, that's the theme of a lot of teams this year. A lot of injuries, but that it's part of it. It's annoying, but it's part of it. So But I was kind of thinking maybe since Anthony Santander said that he would take a 1 to 2 year deal, that's a bigger price free agent, and that might signal different things for Jared Kelenic, but I wouldn't mind that. Garrett Cooper, I forgot about that. Garrett Cooper was signed to a minor league deal. The former Miami Marlins first baseman, been with Chicago and San Diego pockets of the last few years, but there's one thing that I do know, that our AAA team is going to be solid. It's going to be stacked, and we're going to be in a better spot if there are injuries again. Hopefully not, but the depth and MLB experience is nice. The backup catcher currently either Drake Baldwin, the prize prospect, or Chadwick Trump, I believe. So that is good, and that I know it's not flashy or anything, but given how much we had to scrap and claw on the free agent markets and things of that nature to field a actual team last year, and how many guys were not on contracts after the 2024 season in the minors, is very important. So again, not flashy, but very, very important to the process, and at least filling the pipelines more so. To necessitate trades or whatnot to make the MLB roster better. So that is a very good thing. Yeah, I mean, and again, sometimes it's the moves that you don't make that are the most important. Like a lot of these contracts, the max free contracts, a ton of the pitcher contracts, I'm sitting here going, I mean, there's not one year deals are not bad, but but some like the $15 million is like almost the minimum. And again, there's no bad 1 year deals, but you just gotta be 100% committed to the process, to the player, and completely what you see. So, and look, we're not swimming in money. We never have been. So you got to be a little cautious in that area. And so it is what it is. I think. So we will see how. If the Braves don't make a move, it would be probably, if I had to guess, Chris Sale, Ronaldo Lopez, Spencer Swellenbach. Strider will probably be back in May. So maybe AJ Smith-Shawver and I don't know, Bryce Elder, or somebody that comes out of nowhere. That's why you probably 100% see a starting pitching upgrade somewhere. Jeff Hoffman, again, would have fit that bill, but given how that shook out, I don't know. But like I said, there's still 4 weeks. The bottom of the rotation definitely doesn't give you necessarily the warm and the fuzzies as it stands right now. But again, there's probably Grant Holmes, I forgot about him too. I'm sorry. So it'll probably be AJ Smith-Shawver and Grant Holmes as of now. Gosh, I completely forgot about Grant. My apologies there. Yeah, Hackenberg has made. Thank you for that, Joseph. Hackenberg has made a lot of strides. I think you'd probably have to see him a little bit in spring training to see where the Braves view him and his progress. But yeah, that's another one. I mean, yeah, I mean, I don't think it's as pressing as starting pitching relief help in left field, because left field is easier to fill. Plus, Orlando Arcia, as annoying as his at bats and slash antics can be, his defense is still elite. So while I agree, that's not the easiest slash um, most important position of need in my opinion right now, but I definitely can see that. And if we do, I wouldn't be sad about it. But I don't think there's a ton of options in that realm. Um, but um, but I completely get it, and I think that'll be an interesting. Ronald will be back in May. Yeah, Ronald will be back in May, despite Mark Bowman's big time, um, big time typo in his article yesterday. It's not 6 months; it's 6 weeks. So again, it's still very interesting because, and I think Grant Holmes is definitely probably a lock for the rotation, given that we have 6 or 7 guys without options. So they either make the team or go through waivers, and the majority of those guys are definitely going to get claimed. So again, I think it's very interesting, and that's why there's still a lot of questions, fogginess in terms of what the roster is going to look like. But in turn, a little excitement because there's going to be moves you make, regardless if we like them all. Who knows? But I think there's still going to be additions, and obviously it's been a lot slower than any of us wanted, but that's just kind of how the market has been. Yeah, I like Grant Holmes too. He's a nice hybrid piece. Actually, I wouldn't mind like a 2-year deal for Grant Holmes, but I don't know how those figures would work, and if we believe in him that much, even though he was such a valuable piece last year in a multitude of roles. Actually, let me see contracts. Man. But yeah. So there's still a lot of unanswered questions, and this is just me speculating and making things up, and but I think AJ Smith-Shawver is the Spencer Swellenbach of 2025. I just really think he takes that step forward. I just really do. So, and I'm not giving up on Jared Kelenic yet, even though a lot of people seem like they are, but yeah, Jack Flaherty's not a bad idea either. But I think he got a qualifying offer, so that might be that would cost us a draft pick. So that might be an issue. Yeah. Some trades tomorrow. I did mention that. Yeah, it'll probably be the case. Obviously, the Dodgers probably have some things up their sleeve because everybody thinks Saki is headed their way because, of course. So we'll see. We'll see there for sure. That's why I think tomorrow could like shake some leaves and be really exciting for everybody, and it might unclog the lack of movement, so to speak. Yeah, I spoke of Waldrop's possibility too. I think, yeah, Waldrop is definitely gonna get a big time shot. I think, even if we do make an addition, I think he's still can be a big time factor because you need 7, 8, 9 pitchers to get through a season, and the Braves use their 12, 13, 14 at times last year. I think double digits definitely. So you definitely need that organizational depth. So Waldrop will factor in unless he's part of a trade or something of that nature. Um, so um, oh, I think it's a really good deal for Travis to be able to get 2 years and 12 million and keep going and be a mentor to the Angels, and us to finally see Drake Baldwin possibly, because we've let a lot of prize catching prospects walk out the door for good reason, because we needed to upgrade the roster. But and I think Sean Murphy's going to be huge, taking the lead catcher role in the 130 games, and I think he'll return to his all-star form, honestly. So I think it was a good deal for both, and I'm really excited to see Drake Baldwin again. It's contingent on whether we trade him, keep him. If we keep him, I'm really excited. If we trade him, it means we're getting a very quality piece back. And Chadwick Tromp has been really solid as well in his limited duty. So I think we're okay, catcher. I really do. Happy for Travis to continue to, yeah. I mentioned that I may be able to do some live watches of spring training games if people are interested. Inside look on Baldwin. I just know I'm not as well versed in the minor leagues as I would like to be, but I do know that Drake Baldwin is one of he's the top catching prospect in baseball. He's got a cannon for an arm. May struggle against lefties, but I honestly don't think he has enough anything else to prove in the minors. Honestly, I really don't. I think he could be one of the better two-way catchers in the game. So that's why I'm excited whatever the path Baldwin takes, whether it's in a Braves uniform or traded, because we'll get a premium guy or guys back if we decided to pull that trigger. But his StatCast page is something to behold. Let's just put it this way: of a good StatCast page is everything is red. For Drake Baldwin, everything is red, so that is fantastic. They got bought out by FanDuel Sports Network, and yeah, I don't know anything about the TV rights or any of that jazz. I just know that the Braves are amping up their spring training access, and that's always a good thing. And I think that's all that matters, honestly. Because trying to figure out the money and all that stuff with TV networks is a losing battle for somebody that it does. I mean, as long as I have the Braves, as long as I have the Hornets, Hurricanes, and Panthers on my TV somewhere, I'm good. Blackouts would be nice to get rid of, but that's a story for another day. But yeah, like I said, with yes, we will still have the same broadcast team with Brandon, CJ. I'm not sure on the sideline reporters. I'm pretty sure the majority of those will be the same, but not completely 100% on that. The radio team will be the same, I believe, as well too. Yeah, I mean, it's getting closer because you got the spring training dates and everything, and international markets and all that stuff. It's getting closer, and it's still weird, but I'm really happy. Yeah, we have one of the best broadcast teams in baseball, and I'm really happy that we changed, and I'm really happy that Chip got to go home and all that stuff. I think it worked out for both sides, and it's great. Yeah, mentioned that a couple of times. Saki will sign with the Dodgers. It's definitely the worst kept secret in baseball. Unless somehow the Padres come in last second, but the Dodgers do Dodger things. And they're just going to have to pay their entire 7-8 years. The Dodgers might not be really good, but right now they're just swimming in lucrative free agents and all that stuff. But the guys look in amazing shape, and they keep working. Marcell Ozuna, Ronald especially. Haven't seen many other guys, but I know they've been working too, because they always do. But hopefully once, like I said, the international market stuff starts tomorrow. We'll get more action, more definitive things to talk about, and hopefully some additions to the roster, and people can back off. Yeah, I mean, the contracts this offseason have been something we've never seen before. It is what it is. The Mets put their money where their mouth is, and good for them. It's probably going to age poorly, but if you get a championship or two out of that, then it definitely won't. Because the Mets haven't won in so long, 86. So one championship will feed for a while, but obviously the Mets are going to still be so. Jacob deGrom is still with Texas. He just has, he's he's just still battling back from his injuries, and that's pretty much, yeah. There's not. Yeah. So, I mean, a lot of teams still haven't made a move. We're one of them, obviously, a major contract, but there's a handful that hasn't either. So, but San Diego, Dylan Cease has been bantied around again because we tried to get him from Chicago, but he was too expensive. But maybe everybody's trying to. Yeah, Schwellenbach is going to be interesting to see the encore, because a lot of times there's a sophomore slump in there. But I think Schwellenbach is too good for that. I mean, too many pitches, but you know, the way Boris has messed up some clients, maybe we have a chance. Plus, he's from Georgia, but that was just bantied around by Dave O'Brien, so take that one with a grain of salt. But again, I think AA is turning over every rock, and so but Boris has messed up so many clients, there might be a possibility. And Dylan Cease is a Georgia native, I believe. So there may be an avenue there, but it'll probably cost a lot. Yep. Everyone. Always. But yeah, I mean, that's again, there's not been a lot of, I mean, Justin Verlander, we talked about that last week, officially signed with the Giants. Uh, so, but yeah, every rock is turned over. Um, yeah, we're not going to get Bregman, but I think, I guess the Red Sox, the Tigers, uh, yeah. We talked about Ronald a couple of times. Yeah, he's already training, and looks good. The upper body definitely looks good. Well, obviously, we're not going to rush it with the May timeline, but feels really good and nice to see him working and trying to get better and trying to get back out there. So that is great. Yeah, waiting's annoying. We all need a crystal ball, but I don't think um I don't think we foresaw the medical issue or anything. So it's just, you know, there's a lot of things that happen. There's a lot of factors that go into creating a team and different ways to do it. And I think we're still a good team. We're still a playoff team. Are we a World Series team? Probably not. Um, but again, there's still a lot to be. Yeah, but that one exactly. But that was also a factor of the lockout. But very very true. So a lot of things can happen. A lot of moving parts. This, that, and the other. So it's yeah, a lot can happen. It's just been really slow and annoying, but the reality is the reality. We're not swimming in cash like the Dodgers or the Yankees or the Mets, but we still got a dang good baseball team, and we're trying all we can to make it better. Um, and there's still a lot of quality on our team right now. So, and that's all that matters. And the season doesn't start until March 20 something, so yeah. Uh, I mean, I think he's gonna make moves. You make moves every single day in spring training with the roster. It's never. I think we'll get a significant move. I think before it starts, but also I don't know anything. Anything is possible this off season. Anything's possible or not possible, honestly. So um, just gotta wait and see. I don't know. I'm awful at speculating, but So, I mean, honestly, you just gotta wait and see what shakes out. Like I said, there's a lot of guys without options that are either gonna have to be part of trades or they're gonna be on waivers, and we're gonna get some new blood. I don't think they liked the fit. They didn't like the numbers, and I honestly didn't either. Honestly, I didn't. So, um, I think it was a complete salary dump trying to get rid of Jorge Soler's contract. That was accomplished. He could have been a nice veteran arm, but there's too much not good the last couple of years for Griffin Canning that I don't know. That one's a 50-50. I mean, if we could get something solid, we could probably get something decent, but again, I don't necessarily know because I don't know if he has any more of a ceiling or but if he gets a chance to completely start for somebody, then maybe. But I mean, it depends on what the Braves are getting back and what type of package. But yeah, he's probably the least liked of our pitching depth, to be honest. I don't know what you get from Ian Anderson either because he probably won't be back until June. But AA sounded optimistic on the contributions he could make, and I honestly think he could too. I just haven't seen him in so long, and the mechanics and all that stuff. So I'm just kind of waiting on that because he's number 3 pick in the draft for a reason and did a lot of really good things for us in the playoffs in 21, obviously. So I think he's the most unknown of the pitching depth for sure. So that's my thought. I mean, Elder's probably the one that Oscar Inoa is back with the Minnesota Twins. He signed a minor league deal with them. So I think it was time for us to kind of move on from him. Just a lot of injuries and just couldn't find that consistency he had back in 2019 first half. So or 2018, I can't remember. But so I mean, there's still a lot of depth and um, guys to think about, and even the guys on minor league invites to spring training, they might force our hand. A lot of times, I don't know that Eddie signed anywhere so far this offseason. Um, I don't think Eddie's definitely not with us, but I don't think he's signed anywhere in free agency either. So So, but again, there hasn't been a lot to think about, but I think tomorrow may be at least in the international signing depth and minor leagues, that's going to be exciting, and maybe we finally get some movement on the MLB roster. But tomorrow, I think the Braves get better some way, somehow, and that'll be exciting. There you go. Thanks, Joseph, for the update. So, well, that is literally all I have. I think I covered it all. I will see you guys next Tuesday. Hopefully, I have a lot more to talk about roster wise and all of that stuff. But I'll have everything covered. Until then, if things break and have exciting, and if I need to do an emergency live or whatever, I will do that. But as always, go Braves, champions forever. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Helps out a lot. Thanks, guys.